Holy shit, they died. Wait, who won? I managed to open an eye. My hand was against the ground. I was on top. 65 is lost or not. As the crowd debated. Or were they still holding hands or something? Or claws still intertwined? They were still holding hands when they fell. Looked like a bunch of perverts. Nasser, clearly. Oh, they're arguing. That's cute. We're still laying there like rag dolls when another voice spoke up. My foggy head recognizing it as Chit. What's going on, bros? And on and Nasser got into a arm wrestle competition. What's Trish doing here? The Megalodon said, oh man, I wish you this. Oh yeah, the teacher's back. You should probably stop fucking around. Also, you broke the table, didn't you? Yeah, you're in trouble if that's their table. Unless you just brought a table with you, which is somehow even weirder. What do I know about arm wrestle culture? And like a bunch of first graders who had just been asked to put chairs down, they assembled with a focused determination following Chet out of the gymnasium, which left Nasser and I alone as I finally began to stand up. Nasser, you okay? A pause as he groaned, planked against the floor as he rested the bottom of his sonata against the shiny gymnasium. Yeah, like I'm saying, the English language is starting to deteriorate. Did he lose an editor? It really feels like he lost an editor somewhere in the process, which admittedly wasn't a very good editor, but he kept the weirdness out, apparently. Oh, he admitted, struggling to help himself up as I offered a claw, his head trailing up to look at me. Hope I didn't hit a button there. It's so annoying about this, right? This is stupid keyboard stuff right over there. He hesitantly took it as I helped him onto his feet in an instant. Thanks, Mercer murmured, peering away with a saddened frown, just filled with shame and regret, as if he had done something wrong. With the crowd now around us now gone, I could see a few other classmates. Goes in their own conversation. Hold on. Yeah, it was basically like he's trying to fix everything, and then it really wasn't a lot that was discussed here. Like, this is the thing, is that I'm doing things. It really hasn't established a lot. I hate losing my editors. Wonder if you check behind the sofa. Admittedly, yeah. Alright. And Olivia, silently watching. My eyes... Don't do this! My eyes catching hers. You're mixing sentences up at this point and making it actually... This is awkward to read. Like, when you're... Okay, listen. When you're doing double commas, what you were doing is you were interspersing a sentence with another sentence fragment. Or you were doing summaries or that kind of stuff. Olivia is silently watching. Why are there two commas there? What is she... What is the sentence that and Olivia belongs to? Okay? We have three options. Olivia, silently watching. Why is that comma there then? And Olivia, my eyes. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. And Olivia, quickly realizing what you wanted me to do. Okay, that doesn't make sense. The sentence doesn't even make sense at this point. Like I said, their editor... I don't even know, man. Nasser clearly wasn't ready to talk to her at the moment. But they're both very sad. I would like to point out that Nasser is mirroring Olivia's expression, but Olivia doesn't have an expression. Olivia's expression is not established. We're just... Again, some really big issues are starting to creep in. That I don't even know how they got in there. Nasser wasn't ready to talk to her. Well, maybe he would... You just talked to him! Hey, Nasser, speak up. He paused from what? Wasn't he gormlessly standing? You know, she was silently watching. He was doing the same, so he was just like, what is he pausing from? Is he... Again, it's really starting to get me. Ooh, let's hope we can get out of here fast. Still unable to meet my gaze. It's Goodwin barely having energy to keep himself upright. I always imagine that was kind of like the neutral state. Is they stay up because that's what they do. Have a seat, bro. That's weirdly casual for a man whose army just broke. He slowly nodded, following me to sit atop the benches. Why are the bleachers folded out? Far out of earshot from the rest. I love how long, like, if you really think about it, this teacher has taught like half of the period at all. As Olivia quietly viewed herself away, perhaps... Come on, Olivia, have some agency and get yourself involved in the fucking sequence. Like, this entire sequence is just Anon talking for you for something that happened over the course of a day. It's so weird when you really dissect the scenes. Like, in the moment, it might almost work, but analyzed from afar, what is the actual cause and effect of the scene that doesn't make anyone look kind of weird? I like that Nasser is incapable of keeping up the pretense for one fucking day. He collapses day one. Jesus, what a loser. A few seconds passed, and surprisingly it was Nasser who broke the silence. I'm sorry, Anon. I shouldn't have yelled at you back there. I looked at him, giving him a small smile on my snout. I'm surprised you didn't peer at him, too. Would have been a bingo. You don't have to apologize for venting, Nasser. That's where you put the... How about you take that period, you used a period you didn't need, and you put it down here? Because that's where you put a period, before a name declaration. I then placed a claw on the back of my neck, and scratched myself open. There goes my spine. And if anything, to be honest, I was kind of counting on you to do that. Nasser blinked at me as he continued. It sucked that you were actively avoiding us. It's been a day! Maybe he has a cold! Come on! This whole thing pretends that this is like the biggest crime a man can commit, but like... Anon, you're like 35. You should understand that sometimes people just need a little bit of personal space. Like, Nasser could just be thinking about how he's going to handle this Naomi situation, right? And you're just being an asshole, not giving him the space to think about that stuff. That could have totally been the thing. And then, like, in a better written story, this fucking neuroticism from Anon gets punished or addressed or somehow pointed out as like, why are you so fucking weird about this? We said hello already. Also, if it's this big of a deal, why aren't you on your fucking phones? Oh, uh-oh, almost had a bottle drop. This is what I mean with, like, on a moment-to-moment level, it kind of works. But from a macro level, what are you even doing at this point? It's like none of the characters know where they're going. It's like nobody knows where they came from and where they're going. They just know where they are right now and what might happen in about a minute or so and nothing more. And it makes them seem kind of weird. I mean, hey, if you want to write about a species that suffers continuous amnesia, it's great. But I know you're also dealing with a lot of stress, so I'm going to get a hold of it. What stress? Midterms have been over, right? But I want you to know, for me and Olivia's sake, is why. Oh, no, why did I say what I want you to know? What I do want to know. We're saying we're trying to fix everything? What do you mean by that? I like how this man shows up and in one day manages to resolve what should be Nasser's fucking character arc for the whole first half of the season. Like, in a better story, this is just a plot point that gets addressed over time. It's just... We live in Disneyland, and people aren't allowed to have problems for more than 5 minutes, so the second it's introduced, it needs to be resolved. That's what I mean with it feels like everyone just has amnesia all the time. They have to resolve it right now, or just forget it ever happened. It's complicated, alright? And it's a lot. Hey, I got time. Also, for someone who's nonchalant, he's never really nonchalant. Because he never gestures in a way that makes him feel nonchalant, so I'm just kind of forced to assume he says everything in a blunt way. Talking about what's on your chest tends to lift it, Nasser, trust me. And you're thinking of helium. What, helium? Helium. 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 Nasser paused. Where's... This is a new sentence fragment. This is where you put another comma. Why are your commas in all these weird places, man? As he let out a shaky breath. Okay. He let out a breath. So he lets out a sigh, and then he lets out a shaky breath. Man is just breathing all over the place. Jesus, hold your breath for 5 seconds, you fish. Steeling himself before looking back at me. You know, my sibling... You stop. Okay, we just had this sequence, right? We literally, like 5 seconds ago, had Olivia shitting a massive-ass brick on Fang. Which makes this whole situation somehow goofier. You mean Fang? Yeah! Wait, how did you know? Did you meet them already? Yeah, and I figured she was your sister. You know, for a guy who was nice about the whole pronoun thing... Wait a minute, hold on. Didn't Anna use the right pronouns last time? I recall Anon using the right pronouns last time. So he... Can you pick a fucking lane and stay in it, Anon? Jesus. Anon, I'm your character arc, Moose. Anon, I would like to have my character arc with my fucking girlfriend. No, you're having your character arc with me. Now kiss! Jesus, Anon. men are allowed to have character arcs with their girlfriends slash wives. So like his dad is gonna come to him with like, son, I have a character arc problem. I'm gonna need you to fix my wedding and marriage. I'm 16, Dad. I know. But I figured, you're such a mature boy. Multi-track drifting. Anon, you can't be part of 7... Anon, you can't be in 7 character arcs at once. Watch me. Oh my god, he's multi-plot drifting. But that means that none of it will be good. Yeah, but it'll look cool. Anyway. I figured you was your sister. Like, I like how Nasser reestablishes this and then Anon reestablishes it and he just goes back. It's just so awkward. It's like he has no fucking short-term memory. I awkwardly admitted, obviously don't want to bring that I always... You know her like a half a year plus a day, basically. Like, that's such a... I mean, I guess that the context is like he always knew her in the context of since it became... You know what I mean. Fang's in my science and music class, and I guess today at lunch, Olivia and Fang... I imagine... I could see that this is something... Because I know... Nasser probably brought up Olivia, right? So... I can totally see... No, would she know, though? That's a fun thing you could have done, but no. Not really relevant, not necessary. But it's an interesting thing you could have done. Like, Fang already knows that Olivia is Olivia, and Olivia introduced herself, and she makes the connection, and then he goes to Nasser about... They go to Nasser about it when... You know what I mean. You know what I'm going for. Is that you have the situation tie a bit more into things. It's not necessary. It'd just be like a funny moment you could do. Not a funny moment. It's just interesting, gives a sense that everyone is doing things away from the camera. I then realized bringing up the idea I really realized bringing that up wasn't such a great idea. Nasa looked at me even wider eyes, anxiously awaiting my words outside. I wasn't going to try to hide through from Nasa, nor sugarcoat it. They got into a big argument. And it got pretty real. Like, for real? For real, for real. For real, for real, for real, for real? Yeah, man, we're going all the way to Quinn for realsies. Dang! Nasa blankly... I would have gone with Blink Blankly. Because Blink Blankly sounds like a detective. For a split second. I mean, blinks don't last long. Although you can't really establish you're doing it blankly with just a split second. Because the whole point is that you're kind of lingering on it in a weird way. As you're struggling to comprehend what you just heard. Huh? Fang and Olivia were making out? I didn't know that Fang was... I didn't even know. That just means that you're available. And I slide my hand or arm around Nuts' shoulder. So, when's a good time for a picnic? I'd love to go meet a bear and steal his picnic basket. We're going Real Madrid. Dang, Anna, that's real. No, it's real. Including a Chevrolet, because it's a big plus. Anyway, he snarled and dropped off, and before he frantically grasped my gym jersey, desperately pleading us, over what? Why? Nani? So chill out, bro. I urged him to calm down, pushing back at him. You know, I don't know, it was because Olivia wanted Fangs, Olivia might have gotten a bit upset about the whole slur thing. It's 2024, maybe next year. Nasa froze up. Golden eyes. I like how they're golden. Fang has amber eyes, but Nasser has the deep, gorgeous, glistening golden eyes. Peering past my shoulder, stared at Olivia. The Baryonyx wheeling herself to the other side of the court. She quietly left it. I like how Olivia's just okay sitting around doing nothing. Or did she participate in the run? Does the teacher know who Olivia is now? Or did he just infer at the end? Pterodactyl then looked back forward. That's a really awkward phrase. Like, avoid that, because backward, forward, His eyes peering down. Jesus Christ, how much have we done peering today? I need to know. I feel like it's been a lot. No, we're just in a high-density area, and my brain is picking up on it. Fang calls me that. I know that, but... I like how Anna just repeats the fucking phrase, too. Like, Anna's just like, you're a fucked ring of retard. Instead of sugarcoating it. Like, come on, man. You don't have to say it. I know that, but He gritted his teeth, leaning his head forward into his palms of his claws. Palms of his claws is where I'm going to draw the actual, like, hard line. We're going out to the woods, and I'm going to show you a friend of mine. He's made of steel, and he loves talking very loudly. God, why is everything going so wrong? You know, things are going wrong because you avoided Olivia. You could have avoided that one problem, at the minimum. Pterodactyl and slunked? Is slunked? Hold on, I didn't even... Is slunking even a fucking word? Slunk. Huh. I mean, I wouldn't call this slinking. I think it just meant sunk. Man, we're in a weird place. There's only one reason to follow a bear into the woods, Nasser. No, there isn't. Bears are dangerous. Oh, Nasser, you poor... Ugh. Ever since Fang got started with the stuff, I can't remember a single day or night at my house where there wasn't an argument between Fang and my dad. It's only gotten worse ever since the field trip. How do you have time for this, Ripley? Ripley, where do you find the time to yell at your daughter every day? Or your child, I guess. I tilted my head, realizing I'd heard Reed mention something like that. Field trip? Nasser looked back at me. Pterodactyl seemed hesitant to explain. Oh, so you do know what hesitation is. We went on a school field trip to see some landmarks in the city, and we arrived at Islanublar Stadium. Fang, Reed, and Trish tried to set up equipment to play without some sort of permit or booking. That sounds extremely illegal. That sounds like your school gets in trouble, or you do. Oh no. Although they probably have waivers. I could already envision it being one of Trish's famous get famous quick schemes as Nasser shook his head. And I may have accidentally called security. Accidentally, Nasser? Well, I was trying to persuade them to let Fang's band play on stage, but they just ended up alerting them to what the band was trying to do. How did they get away with it in the first place? What a shitty security. His snout tightened. The worst was that Fang tried to resist arrest. I mean, security can't arrest you, technically. I don't know if security at a stadium is a bit different. It might be different depending on if there's an active event or not, but whatever. I had to fight him off using their guitar, and it just... Fang ended up getting... Oh, if it's assault, it's a whole different matter. Fang ended up getting arrested, and I don't think I've ever seen Dad angrier than he had ever been at Fang when he just busted them out. And he had to bust them out. And when I tried to come clean and explain to Fang that I was just... Fang ended up tossing a lamp at me. That's rough. So... I mean, you're kind of building on the relationship in a funny way that isn't really necessary for, like, the core conflict between these characters. But alright. I'm okay with this. Trish wanted to get her payday too. Cry. Dang. That's, rough. Yeah. Nasser blinked, taking his time. And then there's, he seemed very hesitant. I like how he's paused, and then he's also hesitant. Like, come on, man, stop it with the tautologies, it's fine. And then there's what? I tried to gently prod. Nasser pausing. Again with the pausing! It's like we've it's like his editor is gone. The editor at least got rid of some of this. It's Olivia, you know? What is with all the blinking? Hold on, I'm gonna pull up that fucking blinking cat at this rate. It really does feel like everyone is just having something in their eyes the whole time. I'm taking out the plink. I'm taking out plink. It's a Twitch emote, and I like him a lot. Actually, I know exactly what to call. I know exactly what to do. Hold on, give me a moment. I got just the idea for this. I'm gonna. I honestly feel like this chapter is worse than the rest. In a way, there are significant sentence structural problems. There is a weird amount of characters are doing, like, it feels schizophrenic in a way. Is if you were to push my testicles until my eyeballs fall out, I'd say schizophrenic, because nothing quite lines up, and I feel like I'm going nuts. You wouldn't believe how happy I saw when I saw your name on those sheets, especially Olivia's. For a moment, I felt like I was finally getting a break from all the insanity that was going on in my life, until I saw Olivia in her chair. and I realized she had a baby Stando. What's this about a baby what? Oh, hang on. We have a lot of catching up to do. There's this thing, you know, it's like a bow, and you can shoot someone. What, a bow? Well, there's also this cool technique where you... What are we talking about? Do you know Dio the Vampire? Until I saw Olivia in her chair. Brows raised in sadness. That's not... Whose brows go up in sadness? I mean, I could kind of see it in despair, but not in sadness. Sadness, I would see them scrunching together, you know, for tears. But in despair, I could see them going up as the inevitability of the situations. That's it. Even when I tried treating things between us like old times, I couldn't help but feel guilty. Guilty that I couldn't do anything to help her. You don't even know. Did they even explain? Isn't there a guy who's on a horse because he doesn't have leggies in Steel Ball Run 2? But a thing I want to point out that does Nasser even know why she's in a wheelchair? Or is he just like, if I had been there to stop baby Stando? What is this? Why do you keep hammering on about this fucking baby Stando? Listen, Anna, you wouldn't understand. It's just a thing between us, you know? Yeah, for a knit together, that's what I mean. I guess I realized at the table yesterday that was an event. Aw, man, he's like, I can't take this. I can't take a wheelchair. They're disgusting. Anon, we have to date now, because I don't want to have Naomi, and I don't want this either. Nasa looked up. I just couldn't risk ruining one of the best things that had ever happened to me. So I thought I would just ignore her until the end of time so that I could preserve the memories instead of letting them be tainted by the fact that she's a cripple now. Man, that is, like, seriously uncool. Seriously, Jesus. I paused, actually understanding where... I actually understood it for where Nasa was coming from. Wanting to sink. Why is there an L? Plink. And not take the scary risk. It's such a scary whisk. I'm so scared. Hello. I'm such a scared baby. I'm so scared. Hello. Hello. I'm just an innocent little baby. I'm very scared. Anyway, listen, I need to find out about Plink. I need to get Plink in here. I need to get this fucking cat in here, okay? I don't think you understand how important it is that we get this average NTS character's eyeball just fucking blinking his life away. I love this cat. Yeah. Also, when you use the term slink, my brain just goes plink in the something bouncing off something sense, and not take the scare risk. Kind of like how I used to think. Gently placed the claw on his shoulder and stole his jacket. Nasser blinking as he looked at me. I'm glad you told me all this, Nasser, regarding Fang. I don't really have an answer what to do with your relationship. The last time I tried to help, she ended up killing you with a gun, so I don't know, I'm like the last guy to ask. Hell, I didn't even know what to do between me and her either. Clear. At least not clearly, but I drew from my own experience. Don't give her a gun for Christmas. But I do know that Fang is dealing with her own problems, which is why I keep misgendering her despite doing it correctly last time, if I recall correctly. Maybe I'm wrong. And, well, there's some things you just have to leave alone. What? You just telling me just to ignore my sister? Weren't you the one who insisted on calling our sibling? I shook my head. No, I'm telling you to stop trying to fight Fang's battles and fix the fucking problems, man. Go date my sister, or date me. That's even better. Let her figure things out like any other dino. What if she can't? What if things get worse? That's why she'll have you to support her when the time is right. To support and encouragement, Fang needs to win those battles and solve the problem for herself. Anna, it really sounds to me like you're telling me to ditch my sister and then... I don't know, man. It just really sounds like you're using circular logic here. It'll make sense when you're older. Plink. God, that fucking cat is just cracking me up. I love it. Oh, I should have done this earlier. Oh, that's like the whole thing I can shrink. Nice. This fucking cat. Plink. Plink. God, that's great. He's gone for, of course, individuals. And it's the heart of the cards. I don't believe in them. The legless rider is Johnny Joestar, the protagonist. See, I know a thing or two about some culture. Anyway, enough of the plinking. Where were we? I remember Mo telling me something along those lines. It's been like 2.5 decade and a half, my man. But Nasa still seemed very full of doubt. Not of my advice, but of himself. What? I know what you're getting at, but that's a clumsy sentence. What if I can't? I look him in the eye. Nasa, do you love your sister? Of course I do. Fang's still family. Then that's all you need. When Fang shoots you in the gut with a gun, you just say, thank you, Fang. I'm there to support you. Figure it out. I prefer not to get shot. No, don't worry. You can't do anything about it. Then that's all you need. Love's a hell of a drug and all. I think you'll be up to the task when the time comes. Does Nasser actually do anything of the sorts in Snoot Game? I always kind of felt like he was the background character for the process. And speaking of tasks, another thing I want you to do is to stop avoiding Olivia. I mean, I mostly want you to stop avoiding Olivia so we can date, but she'll probably try to date you too, and then there's Naomi. Man, this love square is getting really involved. I hate love squares. They're so clumsy and flimsy. At the end, it's like, Nasser, you have to choose between the three of us. I look him into his eyes and say, Skill, you should have played better. This version of Nasser made me audibly groan in frustration. Why? I mean, admittedly, my big problem is that Anon is just taking everyone's character moments, but hey. You know what I mean. Okay, I think we can swap to a slightly less dramatic sound now. That's good enough. That's good enough. That's enough of that. All right. The pterodactyl froze up. He slumped again, Goodwing draping against the floor. He's nothing. He's a shell for Anon to fill, and it sucks. I always got, yeah. It really does feel like he's just a big fat coward. You know? He has no good ideas. He's just fucking everything up. I mean, you know, that's why he did the whole pizza thing in the original game. So that he did a thing. So that you can kind of see why he tried to be more hands-off. Unless he has to be otherwise. Whatever. I mean, everyone is just a shell for Anon to fill. Because Anon's the protagonist and everything revolves around him. And if people are having conversations he shouldn't be a part of, he'll just telescopically ear himself into it anyway. Anyway. I don't know if I can or should. I'm gonna end up saying the wrong thing like I do with Fang. Olivia now feels so much more... it's like she's fragile to me. Jesus fucking Christ, Nasser. Can you stop being ableist? She's my sister. She beats the shit out of me with just her tail. And she can do the same to you. It's love. There's nothing more quite like love when your wife breaks all of your bones. It's not domestic abuse, Nasser. You just gotta man up. I scrunch my snout up, knowing the Nasser probably meant to phrase that better, but so cringing at it. Her name's not Fragile, Nasser. She's not a USPS package. Name's Olivia. And she's possibly the strongest... No, you're the strongest dinosaur. Anon, you're the Mary Sue, please.
I may be wrong, but I think Anon may be the main character, guys.
And you're the one to talk, because as of now, she's not the one who's an orange and gray. You should probably point out the fact that Nasser has only shit plans. And falls apart at the seams, you know? He opened his snout and raised the ditch to argue my point, but then he realized I'm Anon, so I'm automatically super duper right. And if you're worried about hurt or good feelings, the only way you'll do that is by doing what you've been doing the entire day. Woof. I mean, for what it's worth, it's nice to know that you did it out of care for Olivia, but hiding from her and not even giving her the chance to talk and hang out with you? Man, that sucks. Hell, what were you even doing the entire day? You didn't even eat lunch. I was... He pauses and he pauses. Man. Same conjugation this time, too. He has an IQ of 12. That is harsh. Am I missing something? I mean, he's not smart, but 12? Have I missed something? Have I been too distracted by the glare of his golden eyes? I was studying in a bathroom stall so no one could find. That's bad for your books. They're covered in shit particles now. Why? So I could become a doctor. What? What the hell? I was studying in a bathroom so I could become a doctor. That is a good joke. That is a good fucking gag. Probably not intentional. A doctor? So wait, you really thought you could spend the next 2 years at Volcano High studying to be a doctor all the while avoiding Olivia and me? Well, I was actually trying to intern once I passed a few tests, but yeah, I guess I did think that. I mean, that's not unreasonable. At some point, you'll get bored and stop trying to talk to him. I blinked. Blink. Blink. I couldn't help it. I burst into laughter. Now, so you're one of the smartest, most empathic. I mean, you're fucking retarded, but you're empathic, I guess. Dinosaurs, I know. He thinks... What? He thinks, but doesn't... In even chapter. What? What a beautiful Dwayne. Shoot, what? I'm very lost. I think I'm having a stroke. So we're just gonna pretend that I need to see a doctor. Maybe it can be Nasser in 2 years. But you have the reasoning of a 4-year-old sometimes. I mean, he is 2 years younger. What's that supposed to mean? Exactly what it means. You're going back to Miss Prodias. Sorry, this kind of reminded me of Olivia when she first came to live at our house. She was literally 4 years old! After her parents' funeral. Nasser, you're smart for him. I could see Nas's eyes drift down to my... Oh, God damn it. First Fang, now you. And I'm tying my shoelaces. Yeah, that's what she said. You mean they? Yeah, that's what they said. I could see Nas's eyes drift down, a small frown on his snout. Man, the emotional expression in this is very bad. It is extremely flat. It is very unopinionated. I fucking hate this. It is so... dreadfully boring to read through. Like, I've not pointed out because there's other problems, but, like, shit ain't happening. Can a character just express their emotions by doing something, having a gesture, like actually expressing for once, instead of just declaring intent? Come on! Throw me some spice. But since Olivia was a 4-year-old at the time, she thought she'd have to pay for the food my parents gave. So, has Olivia's been to other people's houses, right? So her solution to fix that would have been to go out and hunt deer in the woods. I guess 4-year-old problems require 4-year-old solutions. How'd you even come up with that? And the idea is just to avoid you for 2 years, which is entirely reasonable given this school has hundreds of people in it. It's not that fucking crazy. It's just fucking stupid. Nas paused. Smiled. Snout. I'm just gonna... I should get a fucking shotgun and just blast them. Just start... Pew, pew. There it is. I guess I kind of thought it'd be up on my own while I was helping Naomi organize the office papers yesterday. And I guess she knows I was living kind of down. She's recommended it was best to just focus on academics rather than try to hang out with you guys. I mean, she has a point. Because clearly hanging out with you guys is fucking him up. It's not a bad plan. But of course, it's Naomi, so we immediately assume it's a Machiavellian scheme instead of her being like, hey, maybe don't hang out with people that make you miserable. Pick your friends. Of fucking course. And I think the worst part was Naomi thinking that she was helping him while excluding us. Not knowing the damage she was... Jesus, it's been 1 day! Naomi told Nasser to ignore us for 1 day. That is an executable offense. But the fact that she couldn't even find Nasser... Jesus Christ, Anon! What is going on? What is the logic? I'm dying, okay? I'm dying. I need my gabagool. So then why would you study with her? No. What? Why didn't you study with her? No, I was looking for you too, you know. Nas paused. paused. Is there any other Nasser pause? Are there any other Nasser pauses? The pterodactyl paused! Pausing for a moment! That's Anon, though. But you get what I mean. Anyway. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, they don't really help me out in the past, but, I mean, admittedly, if he did feel something for, Olivia, then he probably never considered... He never considered even dating, you know, Naomi. So I could imagine that he would have never had the relationship. You know, you get what I mean. You get what I'm going at. Especially through the tough times. But sometimes it feels like she wants something from me in return. I should probably teach you about the dick and the sucking. And what women really want. And I don't think you ever had a girlfriend in your life. Listen. I need to... I mean, technically she was... They were... Yeah, good job there, buddy. It still counts! No, it doesn't. I could imagine what? Put a comma! But I never felt that. But I never felt that way with, He then stopped himself as I blinked, tilting at, with who? I paused. A tactical move. I was about to say slinking, but that was a trick of my eyes. Suspicion rising. Nasser, why did you become... Welcome to Safi Crook explains something he wrote. In Ranger in the Fog, I specifically have a section where Rex and Nasser have a chit-chat about like what it means to be a doctor. And Nasser very specific... Hold on, let me pull up the section. Let me pull it up. What am I looking for? That one. I said, hold the phone, because we're in the danger zone. Shit, that's adding it as a favorite, Safi. That's not what you're looking to do. Or did I cut that sentence? I might have cut that. I guess I cut that sentence. Originally, there was a section in the chapter 18 where Nasser and Rex are talking. And at some point, Nasser would have pointed out... the replacement sentence is like, the living, you should be a doctor. They have that same let the dead lie mentality. Like, the whole point, right, is that Nasser wants to be a doctor, and so he shows this doctor mentality by caring for people and learning that you gotta focus on the people you can save instead of focusing on the dead. That's it ties into the you get what I mean, right? Like, you can extrapolate ending for Nasser studying to be a doctor from the characteristics he's displayed over the course of the story, and that he wants to help people, and you get what I mean. You have enough self-shilling for the whole class? I'm not self-shilling. I'm pointing out that I had the same thing, but I actually had it, like, be a thing you could infer, instead of just having someone go, Nasser, why do you want to be a doctor? Because I want to help people. Instead of having Nasser help someone, and then you go, that's why he wants to be a doctor. You know, you can reverse engineer this. That's what they mean with show, don't tell. That is showing, not telling, is you have the character do the thing that they're saying they're going to do, instead of having them say it. Dang. But in the end, I was a self-shiller. Nasser, why did you want to become a doctor? Because I think you should just be a himbo. A bit of crimson rose on his snout. To work at InGen. They got a good intern process. Insert and work it. My eyes widened to realization. All the while Nasser desperately tried to explain it. I mean, if you give me a great career path, you know, there are many unknown disorders that I could... Nasser, that's not what doctors do. Doctors don't do that, Nasser. That's a different kind of doctor. And if one of them just so happens to be a knee joint disease, yeah, what the fuck is up with her anyway? If it only affects baryonyx, then I smoked. Holy shit, this is like the big... Like, okay, listen, it makes sense, okay? From a long-distance perspective, this is fine, because we already know that he wants to be a doctor from Ending 4. It makes sense, because he's like the promising kid, he's got a big brain and everything. He's a fucking idiot in this, so that doesn't quite work. He seems to be more of a jock than anything else. Like, I'm just saying that his empathic nature seems to be a bit on the back burner here. But this can work. I don't know if this is how to do it, but you can technically make this work. And it'd be kind of cool. It'd be cute, because it makes sense, because it's like the big thing around that's trying to do experimental, treatments. Especially if that's what he's going for. However, the thing is, this implies he learned about this yesterday, and then the next day he's like, I'm going to be a doctor to cure her. In a day. In a fucking day he decided that. I simply smirked. Okay, I'm gonna